Created live on Fireside.
Woohoo!
Hello.
Yes.
How are you, Chris?
How are you, Amanda?
So good. Welcome to part 2 of our spectacular Halloween edition.
I know, I'm so excited. This was like such a hard, like this episode was even harder to put together than last week's episode. My list was so long of like songs I wanted to send you that I was like 100% sure you'd never heard before. And this was a really tough list to narrow down.
Well, and my list should be no surprise.
No, your list is exactly 100% what I would have expected, actually. But it's
So
great because
fantastic.
it's going to make for a very good conversation.
Agreed. Well, welcome everyone to part 2 of our Halloween episodes. We're just super excited. Chris and I love Halloween, so we knew that we could not do this in just one episode. So we're going to conclude with today, and we're going to have fun doing it.
Oh my gosh, we're going to have so much fun doing it because the songs that I picked for you were like, I made sure they were somewhat different from each other, and like I'm
very different.
Very positive you've never heard any of those songs before.
Agreed.
So I'm anxious to hear your reactions to them, and so we'll have a conversation. Your songs definitely I've heard, but they're great songs. They're so it makes for a very cool discussion. And I dug up a lot of history on a few of them.
Pumped. I always hope that you will, because that's honestly one of my favorite parts of the show is all the history that you usually like scrape from songfacts.com, which is a staple in our fact checking and fact digging by you.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're definitely like the number one resource I use. And then I pull from like other places on the internet, bits and pieces of interviews and things like that. But
the interwebs.
The interwebs, as they like to call them, as the kids like to call it.
Well, we appreciate everyone who is here. And if you are new here to our show, whether you're in attendance right now because we record this live, or if you're listening to a replay, we appreciate it so much. And the Chris and Amanda show is now on. So we're just legal because we're on our 20. Is this 23rd or 24th? Oh my goodness.
This is number 24. This is our number 24 episode.
24th episode. So hard to believe. And it just comes from a point of creation that we wanted to have fun and have a good time talking about our drastic music differences. So Chris picks 3 songs, I pick 3 songs, and we rate them on a big old scale of 1 to 5 records on a normal show. But last week we were having fun that I was getting pumpkins for my ratings and Chris was getting ghosts. So a little different this last couple weeks, but we like to mix it up and just have fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and we love doing the special theme shows and things like that because, you know, it's just nice. It's nice to break it up and lets us have. I mean, we normally have fun as it is every week selecting songs, but when we do the little special episodes around the holidays or just other things we do, like we did the Beatles episode, which was a lot of fun to put together, and we've done like 4th of July, like holiday inspired songs around that time. We did like a summer season. We've done. And obviously now we're moving into the winter holidays. So, and we did a Christmas in July episode. So, you know, these shows are so much, the specialty shows like always seem so like they're so much fun, but always so much harder to curate the songs.
It's just because there's so many, and that's where we haven't really buckled down what we're doing for December, but we might have to take the whole month for Christmas.
I mean, listen, it's something we may have to do. We may have to do it for the show. We may have to do it for the show.
For the show.
Yes.
Wink, wink.
Exactly. We may have to do it for the show.
Audience. Hey, Roman. Hope you're doing fantastic. Well, I'm going to dive into your choices for me this week. If you're good with that, let's get the show on the road.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's kick the show off. Go for it.
Okay. So your first song to me, Zombies Ate Her Brain by the Creepshow.
By the Creepshow.
By the Creepshow. Your number 2 song to me was Bark at the Moon by Ozzy. The one and only Ozzy. Who I think our viewers are getting to know that has a special place in my heart.
We know. You want to be a mom to Ozzy. We know.
I want a mom. he needs a mom. he
needs a mom, and you want to fill that role.
Absolutely. And your number third and your number 3 song to me is Astro Zombies by the Misfits, or just Misfits.
Yeah, I mean it's Misfits or the Misfits, but Misfits is Misfits. And I got my little bootleg Astro Zombie shirt on today. So
we didn't say that. I know
the bootleg shirts are a lot more fun a lot of times.
I love it. So interesting song choices for me to listen to. So I've got my notes.
Yes, you got your notes, and your selection to me, which really was no surprise, but I'm happy because these are all really good. Like, I think staple, like Halloween inspired songs that usually show up on everybody's Halloween party playlist, and they're fun when they come on. Everybody's got, I think, some really good nostalgia with each of these songs. And especially so I'll go down the list, but especially I'll say Michael Jackson's Thriller. But
absolutely.
So your list is great, and I loved talking about. I can't wait to talk about the first song. So you have Nightmare on My Street, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, which I was so happy when I saw that like pop up number 1 on your list. I had a big smile on my face because I was hoping that you would give me this song because I think this song is hilarious. And I mean, growing up as a kid in the '80s, like especially like. DJ Jazzy Jeff, Fresh Prince, they were awesome. The songs are great. And of course, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but like going back to like the music, like they were a ton of fun back then to listen to. So definitely psyched about this. You had Freaks Come Out at Night by Houdini, which I can't wait to talk to you about this song because I got to hear your like why this is on this list. So we'll get to that because I got to feel that I'm going to be prepared for a really good Amanda story on that one. And of course, the one, the only Michael Jackson's Thriller.
There could not be a Chris and Amanda show, Halloween episode or episodes that this wasn't at least thumbnailed somewhere.
Exactly. I mean, it had to be somewhere. And I knew it was coming. Last week we did the movie inspired songs, which is fine because, and even Thriller could have slotted into that pretty easily. Like I would have definitely like given that like, yes, I would have given that a pass for sure. But since it wasn't on last week's list, I knew, all right, I'm definitely getting Thriller this week. Like it's happening.
You know me so well.
I do.
I love it. Well, I mean, I feel like your list to me, I was very surprised by it. I wasn't surprised that I didn't know any songs, but I guess I was a little surprised that I didn't know any songs. I thought you maybe were gonna like, because our theme shows aren't necessarily about getting songs that you've never heard before, right? We're just kind of enjoying the holiday and some of our favorites and that type of thing. So these, I was like, man, are these like his favorites?
These are songs pulled from these are songs curated from my personal Halloween party playlist. So every year we do basically a Halloween party here at the house. And it's usually a combo between Halloween and my wife's birthday. And so we always do that mishmash. And every year, we have, it's not like we have like hundreds of people over. It's just us, our group of friends. We have them over. Everybody dresses up. Rachel and I always try to pick a theme and we'll dress up. And, and we just have a good time. But there's always, I'm always like way into like creating like a playlist for the night. And and usually way more songs than you can even ever listen to in one night. But that's fine because you just put on shuffle. So these songs were curated for my Halloween playlist. And if anybody wants to follow the Halloween party playlist, let me know, and I'm happy to send you the link. If you want to hear any of the songs that we have in our playlists over the last 2 shows, this show and last show, you can click the link in the fortune cookie or click the link in the show notes, and I'll take you right to the official Chris and Amanda Spotify playlist where you can hear these songs that we're talking about.
I love it. So I'm going to dive right into doing your first song, if that's okay. Unless you want to start it with mine.
No. Go for it. Go for it.
Okay. So your first pick to me, again, just to recap, was Zombies Ate Her Brain by The Creepshow. So I pressed play on this one, and it was as if you picked this song specifically for me.
I absolutely did.
And I go,
I 100% did
really
that.
starting to like really get good at like pushing the limit, but go, she's not going to not like this one. It's not normal for her to listen to, but she's not going to not like it. And
Right.
so immediately out of the gate, I was like, ooh, I like this already.
Mhm.
So it instantly kind of had like a Gwen Stefani sound to it.
Ooh, that's interesting. That's an interesting comparison I would have never thought of. But see, this is why I love hearing your opinions on the music, because you hear things that I wouldn't have picked up on. So that's an interesting comparison there.
Is it appropriate? Do you think once I said that, you're like, oh, I could see where Amanda would think that?
Yeah, no, I absolutely do now. Now that you said that, it like has totally registered with me.
All right, nailing it. Yes. So I like that because I do like Gwen Stefani. I think
Right.
she's just a genius. Her voice is very unique. I love unique voices, not the cookie cutter. It'll sell a million whatevers. A million pumpkins or ghosts.
A million pumpkins or ghosts.
Exactly. So it kind of made me think of, your song list that we did from the Christmas episodes. I Want an Alien for Christmas, but just total, like the vibes of that song, obviously different sounds, right? But I was like, oh, what a fun-hearted, like, approach at, Zombies Ate Her Bray.
Yeah, exactly.
I just, like, instantly, again, I knew that you had picked that song, like, specifically for me to be able to hopefully give maybe 5 records. And my only thing, hopefully. My only thing was I thought it was super short. Like, I could have actually, like, and it doesn't end abruptly. It just ends very quickly.
Right. Yeah. And that's, and it just due to the nature of, like, the band and the kind of music they are, like, now you're going to laugh at this. They are basically what you consider like a garage, like punk psychobilly band. That
maybe that's why I'm really digging it.
Yeah, it's like literally because that's a lot of their songs are all that like B-movie horror like lyrics. So it's a lot of it's based on all that stuff, like zombies and vampires and the living dead, and all their stuff is sort of like that. The Creepshow. So they're like this horror inspired like punk psychobilly band. They're from Canada, and they're just fun to listen to. Very fun to listen to.
They are. So the fact that they stay in such that lane.
They do. They're very specific.
That is so interesting to me. But I thought it was fun. I really enjoyed the tone of it, the vocals of it. I just thought it was super fun. Never would have found it on my own. So that's why I love this show so much. I actually found another playlist, well, our playlist, that I actually am going to really enjoy. And as soon as it ended, I was like, well, that's going to get listened to again. Like, I just couldn't like wait to like tap the replay. So I really like that. So because of those things, I'm going to give this 5 ghosts.
Wow. 5 ghosts. I got to get a spooky. I don't have a spooky sound effect. I should go, ooh.
Ooh. Shocker.
A little shock. 5 ghosts.
I feel like it's really kind of a 4 record, but because of all the reasons I like it, totally bumps it right up to the 5.
So I first of all, I accept your 5 records with much glee, because I did not think that you would give me 5 records on this. I thought I would get a 4. So the fact that it's 5 is an unexpected Halloween treat for me.
It's like the Great Pumpkin.
It is. It's like the Great Pumpkin. I sat in a pumpkin patch all night, hoping, praying, wanting so badly to get 5 records today.
And boom.
I got one. So yes, dreams do come true, everybody.
Dreams do come true. Making dreams happen.
Don't stop believing. Don't stop believing.
So good.
Yeah. So I love that. I love that you're into this. So definitely listen. I will encourage you, listen to more Creepshow stuff, because it is cool, and they've got a few records out, and they are just fun. They really are a fun band, and especially during the Halloween season, that stuff gets even better, and it's great Halloween party music, because it's fun. It's easy to get into, and and it's not so crazy. No one's screaming their head off or anything like that,
No, it's
not heavy.
No, it's subtle. Like it's not what I normally would listen to, but it's so not offensive. It doesn't offend me, as I like to say.
Yeah, as Amanda likes to say, it doesn't offend me.
It doesn't offend me.
I'm not offended.
This one made me smile, and I have to judge myself a little bit when I'm like, I really like a song about zombies eating her brain. I don't know, but it's Halloween time. I'm allowed to.
It's Halloween. It's
Halloween.
Okay.
Amanda has a pass.
Right. You've got a hall pass, a Halloween hall pass to like songs about eating brains and Walking Dead and all that stuff.
Big
yes,
deal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for giving me 5 records, and I'm glad I can expose you to more new music.
Yes.
You're welcome, friend.
Thank you.
So, for anybody else joining us right now, welcome to the Chris and Amanda Show. This is the live show that we do every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. And if you want to listen to any replays of the Chris and Amanda Show, you can listen to it right here on Fireside. And of course, you know, with the audience, we're always asking for anybody, if you'd like to come up, participate, drop knowledge, whatever you want to do, disagree, agree with us, you're absolutely welcome to do so. Just hit that request button and we'll bring you on up. And for anybody else listening live, if you'd like to share this with anybody right now that is following you, head over to that bottom left button there and click share to followers, because you know, Amanda and I love to have an audience. We love when people hang out with us and laugh and participate along the way. So, and feel free to clap or boo or whatever.
Yeah, all noises are fine.
There's no little they should do like little ghosts and stuff for Halloween update. Do a Halloween holiday updated reactions.
Our good friend Victoria, can you put that in our behind the scenes chats?
Yes, Victoria, you got it.
Amanda and Chris are losing their mind. They're wanting ghosts and pumpkins. Not too much to ask.
It's so much to ask. Dear Fireside, we would like ghost and pumpkin sound effects for our Halloween shows.
For the entire month of October, please. Let's start working on Christmas too.
Right. You might as well, while you're at it, start working on Christmas sound effects. Be so great.
I love it.
All right.
I can't wait to hear all of what you think about My Song to You.
Yes. I'm excited to talk about this one. So, Nightmare on My Street, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. So excited to see this on your list of songs. I always love this song, but there's some cool history behind this, which I never realized when, you know, I was younger. And now looking back at it, I'm like, this is some cool, like little like lore about this song. So, Nightmare on My Street was the third single from DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince's second studio album. He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper, which is a phenomenal record, by the way. So, if you haven't listened to that record in a long time, I urge you to listen to it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. This song was supposed to, so a lot of people think that this song was actually in one of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. It actually was not in any of the films. It was considered for inclusion in Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master, but the producers decided against it. So it was never used in a film. So that's myth number one, is everybody thinks that this song was in one of the movies. It was not. They wrote it, but it never got into a movie. So, but they love the song. And one of the cool things I love about this song when you listen to it, if you haven't listened to this in a while, please go to the Spotify playlist. We have set up the Chris and Amanda Show playlist and check it out, because it is so much fun, because they just basically sample that Nightmare on Elm Street. Dun, 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 dun. Like they just sample that the whole song. And, you know, Will Smith is Fresh Prince is sitting there. The whole story is about like him meeting Freddie and being asleep. It's just so great. Like the story they tell us, the rap is really cool. So, but interesting enough, New Line Cinema, who are the copyright holders of Nightmare on Elm Street, they actually decided to sue DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, they're the record label, for copyright infringement. And on top of that, did I know this, that they forced the record label to destroy the music video produced for the song. So they had shot and filmed the music video, and as part of the settlement, they were forced to destroy all copies of the music video. Both sides eventually settled out of court, but as a result, the vinyl pressings of the album, He's the DJ and I'm the Rapper, contain a disclaimer sticker that says this song is not part of the soundtrack. It is not authorized, licensed, or affiliated with Nightmare on Elm Street films. However, Amanda Sharp, as I said, reportedly as part of the lawsuit, all copies of the video had to be destroyed, and for decades, the existence of a video was considered an urban legend. However, stills of the video suddenly appeared 30 years later in 2018, and shortly after, followed by a full Nightmare on My Street music video original. It's unclear who held on to copies of the supposedly destroyed promo, though DJ Jazzy Jeff did upload an HD version to YouTube, suggesting he may have stashed away one following the lawsuit.
Okay, let's be honest here. Between friends and the rest of the world, I would have did the same thing.
I mean, come on.
Come on.
Yeah, and I think Will Smith at this point has got way enough clout to fight this off, and I mean it's 2018. So what I did actually is I put the link to that video in our link here in the fortune cookie. So if you click that, our little link here, it's the first button that comes up, the DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince music video for Nightmare on My Street.
That had been in a vault, non-existent for 3 decades.
30 plus years. Yeah. And watching it back is like everything you'd ever want. It's pure 80s bliss.
I haven't watched it in a long time. I mean, I had seen it before. I just have not, it's been a long time.
It's, you know what? It's just fun to watch. And once again.
It is. Do you know, I really appreciate Will Smith as the actor that he is today. But boy, did I love that younger version of him during this phase. Just the creative, feel from him is just so fantastic. Like lightheartedness.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, love it.
100%. And it's really great to listen back to these songs. Because, one of the songs that we didn't pick on our summer playlist this year, I don't think either one of us had put it on, was Summertime. So I got a feeling it's going to make an appearance probably next year.
Absolutely.
Because there are some like that I have to listen to Summertime every year, every time it comes around summer, because it is just such a cool song. And so, but getting back to Nightmare on My Street. Sorry. So I love this song. I think it's cool. This is definitely on my my Halloween party playlist. I mean, I don't think any Halloween party playlist is complete without a Nightmare on My Street. You got to have it. So because of that, I'm giving this 5 pumpkins.
Loving the 5 pumpkins. It's such a good, just fun song.
It is. And listening back to it, because, typically I listen to the song, like, obviously it's Halloween inspired. So you listen to it during Halloween, and for me, it is very nostalgic. I don't know if my kids would listen to it and probably think, I don't know, Dad. They love Will Smith and stuff, but I don't know if they'd be into this. But I think it's definitely a generational thing, and it brings me right back to the time when Will Smith was just, when he was just the Fresh Prince, and he was putting out records with DJ Jazzy Jeff, and they were having a great time doing it and just writing really fun tunes. So I'm definitely the song may not really be that good, but I love the Nightmare on Elm Street sample. I love the legend and lore behind this song, and it's pure nostalgia for me. But it is a fun tune.
It's fantastic tune. Well, I appreciate and accept those 5 pumpkins from you. And I knew you would like the song, but I didn't know where you put it, in
my pantheon.
Yes.
In the pantheon of classics tunes.
Because there's different layers of the classics.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. So how's everybody doing down there? And anybody agree, disagree? Has Nightmare on My Street, you guys loving it? I mean, come on, it's like, yes, no, maybe so, clapping, boo, whatever.
They're a quiet bunch today, but that is okay.
It is Monday. And I know for some people listening live, it's still the morning. So I get it.
People are catching up. But while they're being quiet, I suppose we should just talk. Should we just throw out how amazing our sweet friend Carrie is?
Absolutely, 100%. She is the best, and Coffee with Carrie podcast is our official sponsor for the Chris and Amanda show, and we couldn't be any prouder or happier to have her be a sponsor of our show. And if you love our show and you love the fun and the banter that Amanda and I have together, because we certainly love doing the show, and that we hope that you guys love listening to it. But if you really dig our show, then you will absolutely love Coffee with Carrie podcast, which we were really fortunate to be guests of on her very first episode a few months back.
Yep. Episode number 1, really easy to find us. We had beyond a blast. And the things that came out of both of our mouths were just fantastic. We were, I mean, we don't like to toot our horn, but I could watch that again and I still will be cracking up.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it is. I go back and I rewatch that episode and re-listen to it, and it is still really funny. It's funny to hear us and do it. And I love all the other episodes that have come on after that. And so if you love a show that's part interview, part game show, just a lot of laughing and a lot of fun, Coffee with Carrie is 100% your cup of tea. But if you're, and the cool thing too is she does Carrie records the audio version and she does the video version. So you could catch the audio version anywhere you listen to podcasts. And of course you can see the video version over on YouTube at the Coffee with Carrie YouTube channel. And as I always love to say, it's like reading the book and watching the movie. Yeah. So I always prefer to listen to the interviews first on the podcast and then go and watch the video version, because it just becomes that much funnier for me.
I agree. And, we like to support all creatives, or creators rather. So if you want us to take a look at your show or anything like that, send us a chat on Instagram. We'd love to support you and watch your show. We love people who are doing creative things, and anytime we can support them, we do.
Absolutely.
Right. Moving on to your song, choice number 2 to me, Chris.
Number 2.
Giving me some Ozzy here. Bark at the Moon. And
I'm just gonna
bark at the moon. I love that part of the song.
I know, it's the best.
It's so fantastic. That's one of my notes.
Now, have you ever... You had never heard this Ozzy song prior to this?
Never.
Okay,
never.
All right. I had a feeling you wouldn't have, but there was an off chance that maybe you heard it. Maybe Marcus was listening to it or something.
No, not that I've ever paid attention to be honest.
Okay.
And anyone who, again, has listened to our show in the past, they know that I really pegged Ozzy and his singing style completely different than what actually it was. It lived in my head in a different existence of what reality is. Like
Kiss.
So, yes, I was
and Poison.
Yes, I was pleasantly surprised again to be like, wow, this is really a great song. And while I often say that I don't like the barking and the growling and other songs in the calm core, easy core. I don't like it there. For some reason, it seems to go and naturally fit in Bark at the Moon, though. And it's more of a howling. It just seems more appropriate than growling out of nowhere. So some of you might be thinking, well, you hate the barking and stuff, Amanda. No. When appropriate, it seems to make sense. And when Ozzy does it, Ozzy gets away with what Ozzy wants to get away with. Because that's the type of mother I am. So the first thing I thought was when I played the song, I was like, don't let me down, Ozzy. Don't let me down. And he didn't.
He did not. He delivered.
He did not. Again, so it was softer of a song than I expected. And it was kind of a little bit of a longer song, but when you have that guitar,
oh my God,
playing kind of throughout it's having its own little solo there. Yeah. It's going to add time to it. Well worth it. So I really enjoyed this song. I really am starting to like Ozzy for the music too, not just Ozzy as Ozzy.
Right. Not just because you want to be a mom to Ozzy, but as a musician,
I'm now saying my little baby Ozzy is talented. I mean, I think everyone else in this world probably already knew that. Amanda's just now picking it up.
Amanda's just catching up. She's just catching up. And
I'm just catching up. I'm a slower learner. It's okay. So I really did like the song. I think it was fun. I didn't watch a video or anything, so I'm not sure if there's a fun video that goes with it outside of
there is
normal.
a very fun video,
Okay.
which we'll definitely have to do for
Some
Chris and
reaction
Amanda
videos.
react to music videos video.
So I'll be looking forward to that. We'll have to do the reaction video to Nightmare on My Street too then.
Yes.
Just because that'll be fun. So just because I really just continue to have a bigger and bigger spot in my heart for Ozzy, I gotta give this one 5 records.
Wow.
Because I enjoyed it. I know.
Holy.
I know I'm very bad at disciplining, and I'm really like a pushover as a mom. So I don't think he can let me down these days. So if you want surefire 5 ghosts or 5 records moving forward, I think you know how to get it now.
Man, well, once again, I am very happy with the rating. Did not expect that rating. I love Bark at the Moon the whole record's great. This song is definitely an Ozzy signature song now. And it's, this was like the first studio record that Ozzy had put out, post Randy Rhoads' death.
Okay.
And, and there was a time when nobody ever thought we'd even ever hear from Ozzy again because Randy Rhoads had passed away.
Sure.
And he did some tours. He released a live record, and then he starts working with this guitar player, Jake E. Lee, who is just I mean, you can hear us playing. I mean, it's ridiculous. And Bark at the Moon is like an absolute like burner of a song. This riff, the guitar playing, the guitar solo. I mean, you listen to it now and like it still holds up, and like guitarists still like hold this song as like if you could play this song, this is like a true like, wow, you're a really good guitar player to be able to play this song. And it's just a fun Ozzy song. And yeah, it's got a little bit more bite to it than like stuff that was on like Diary of a Madman and Blizzard of Oz. But it was good because Ozzy was keeping up with the times and what music was like, in those few years that he was sort of like off and, deciding if he was going to continue on and all that. So this is a great, great song. Ozzy still plays it live, when he was playing live. I don't know if he's even going to play live again at this point, but but still, I've seen it live a bunch of times, and it is a great song, and also a staple on all Halloween playlists. Should be a staple on all
as
Halloween.
it should be.
Yes,
and I just find it amazing that I haven't heard it before. Again, I guess maybe I hadn't just ever paid attention,
right?
But now I will. Now I will pay attention.
Yes,
and I just would like to publicly thank Sharon Osbourne for getting Ozzy to where he is today. I really feel like he probably would not have had the success without her.
She definitely, I mean, he was ready to basically not even like after he got kicked out of Black Sabbath. I mean, he was just basically on a mission to just drink himself to death. And Sharon pulled him out of it and convinced him to start a band, and then he could go on on his own. And he, and she definitely, kept him from basically killing himself. And many, many times over, she was the one who kept him from. As a good
wife would.
Yeah. So, she's definitely been, as very well documented as has been. I mean, yeah, she's been an absolute rock for him throughout his whole life. I mean, he probably would not still be alive if it wasn't for her.
Absolutely. And that's where I think it's so important to really recognize your partners that really keep people in a very hard industry.
Yeah.
Moving forward and successful. So,
right.
Sharon Osbourne, I give you 5 pumpkins.
Whoa. Whoa. Well, we're at the tweet that at her.
Yeah. Honestly, it should be more like 10 or 100,
right.
But
100
awesome.
Pumpkins.
Yes. So 5 pumpkins for you, or 5 ghosts for you.
I get the ghost. Yeah, I get the ghost. You get the pumpkins.
I get the pumpkins.
Well, thank you for giving Bark at the Moon 5 spooky ghosts. So your next song to me, Amanda Sharp, and I gotta before I even go into this, I gotta understand why you picked this song. But it is "Freaks Come Out at Night" by Houdini, which. When I hear this song, I just picture Amanda like cutting it up on the dance floor or like roller skating. But I know that there's got to be a story behind this.
Okay. So you would think that there's a story because this is not in my normal lane.
It's not in your normal lane. So I'm like, there had to be some situation or something.
And I wish I knew of a situation, right?
Okay.
I just know I don't have a memory of not knowing this song. So how does
All right.
that work? Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was from roller skating back in the day, but I love it. Freaks come out at night. I mean, it's just such a catchy like phrase. It's not an Amanda song though. And I even like tried to find out like what movie would I have seen it in that would have made me like have heard it. It's just always been in my head. It's weird.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So,
I mean, listen, I know,
story.
I know that you were like a big roller skater. Still are. But yeah, so I was just wondering like if there was a story behind the song, because usually when you pick songs that are a little, they're not all the songs you pick for me are out there. So sometimes, but you're always like, I'm like, how did this song wind up on the list? So I feel like sometimes there's a pretty good Amanda association with that.
I really wish there was a good story.
That's fine.
Though, because it would have been a good story.
Right. Well, that's okay.
Boo. But it's still a fun song.
It is a fun song. It is a fun song. So, "Freaks Come Out at Night" was written by Houdini's primary songwriter Jalil Hutchins, and the track was produced with regular collaborator of the band Larry Smith. The song was the third single from Houdini's second album, Escape, and it was released on Jive Records October 17th in the year of 1984. Just gonna let that sink in there, which is funny because I listened to this and it doesn't sound like 84. It sounds even earlier than 84 to me. Like I had originally thought this was like 1980 or 81 or even maybe even 79, but like 84 I was like, wow, this was kind of like late for this because it sounds a little like early than 84.
Agreed.
It was weird. So I was trying to find some information about this one. So I found some stuff on a different website, or actually a kind of a combination of sites for this. I think I found stuff on, forgot the name of this. Oh, songmeanings.com. There you go. So I found some information about this on Song Meanings. So, because I just wanted to see if there was anything behind the song. And I mean, so basically, according to songmeanings.com, during the early days of hip hop, before rap music had really established a name for itself, it was largely associated with the disco scene. So people who attended associated dance clubs were often treated to both genres of music while they are there. This song, Houdini, is largely speaking to such experiences about attending discos. And basically, they're describing some of the other attendees as freaks. And these individuals are notable due to their apparel, which is based on the way Jalil elaborates on the second verse, which is he kind of compares to punk rockers and things like that. But they do point out that he appreciates the most about the freaks are their love-making skills. And overall, this serves like a dance song. And so, to say that again, titular freaks are the types of people who Houdini encounter in the night and at parties, and the two vocalists are basically expressing their personal opinions and observations. And overall, it can be said that the rappers are impressed by them, in addition to warning the faint of heart to avoid coming out at night, lest they too come across a freak.
This is why Amanda is home and tucked in on the couch by 7 p.m.
So I'm like, so did Amanda have like a life where she was like a freak? I mean, like, was Amanda sneaking out like late at night and going to the disco and,
You know what? Don't you ever wonder like what kind of person you would have been if you lived in a different era, right? Like,
yeah,
maybe I would have been a dancer if I could have danced disco during the time that disco was like trendy,
right?
Because I could get behind that,
right? Would
There's
you
a lot
have
of
been?
Movement.
Do you think you would have been going to Studio 54 in New York? Had given the chance.
I think had given the chance, absolutely.
You'd be cutting it up on a dance floor, Saturday Night Live style.
Yes, I think so. Because I think there's just those moves are a little bit more appropriate for Amanda.
Mm-hmm. I could see
wiggling. It's wiggling. It's not really rhythm.
Yeah. I could see you cutting it up. What
about you? Would you have been a 70s person?
No, absolutely not. 100% not.
I also would have loved to swing dance.
Swing dance, because that's entirely different. Swing dance, I've always said I would love to take like swing dance lessons and things like that. We never have. Still something I'd like to do, but that I would do. Disco dancing and going to like discotheques and all that, like no way. That's not my scene.
I love it.
Not my scene.
Oh, the things that we talk about on the show. You never know what's going to be said.
That's it.
Or analyzed.
Right. And it comes out of listening to Houdini.
Yeah, from simple song choices. We make 6 songs turn into over an hour's worth of dialogue.
Every time.
Easily.
Every time. So Freaks Come Out at Night by Houdini. Definitely a song that I've heard many, many times growing up, for sure. Not exactly one of my favorite tunes, but still it comes on and you hear it and you move a little bit.
I'm just doing a shoulder thing.
You move a little bit.
It's playing in my head.
It makes you move. So it's like you can't help it. And like it's Houdini and Houdini's great. I'm going to give this song, I'm going to give it more than what I normally would give. I'm being very generous because I'm in a holiday spirit.
You're in the holiday spirit.
I'm in the holiday spirit of giving out treats, maybe some tricks.
He must have watched The Great Pumpkin last night.
Maybe. So Freaks Come Out at Night will get a 4 pumpkin rating.
Okay, 4 pumpkins is not bad. So
probably more of a 3 pumpkin song, but like I said, I'm feeling a little treaty today. I'm like,
absolutely.
you've given me 5 ghost ratings.
We're so obnoxious.
So I'm reciprocating back.
I like that. We're in the holiday spirit of, Halloween. So I think, why not? So do you associate this song with Halloween?
No.
Really?
I never have associated with the song with Halloween.
So this is not on your playlist, your party playlist?
It is not, but I think it's going to be now.
Okay, I was just going to
because I feel like it's an apropos song because even still the Freaks Come Out at Night.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a fun song. So I think that this song is going to be on the 2021 Halloween playlist for this week's party, which will be Saturday. So
I'm so excited by that.
So this is getting added to the playlist because I think that the song comes on and everybody I hang out knows this song one way or the other, and it's a party, and so it's good party music. So absolutely, it's going on.
If anyone says, "Chris, why is this on there?" I'll be like, "Ask Amanda."
I'll be like, I don't know. Amanda must have slipped on. This must have snuck into my playlist and put it on. I don't know.
She put it on our episode. I had to make her feel good.
Yeah. No, but this is a cool song. I mean, I know like my wife she knows this song really well, so she'll. So the minute it comes on, she'll be like dancing in the middle of the living room.
Rachel, this one was for you.
Yes.
I love it. So 4 pumpkins, I will take it. So moving on to your last and final song. And are we doing our top 3 Halloween movies after this too?
We sure are.
Okay. Because I'm really excited about my list. It should come at no surprise to anyone. Spoiler alert!
I don't think it will. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert! So your last and final song to me, your number 3 pick was Astro Zombies by the Misfits.
Yes.
I know I've been
Astro
coming in hot with 5 ghosts for the last 2 songs.
I keep trying with the Misfits, and I'm just going to keep trying. They keep making appearances on
This song when I read Astro Zombies, because some of my favorite silly movies are zombie movies. I dig them. Yeah. Very nice mask. Just listening to this always has to see the video versions because you never know what's going to come out. Chris is putting all sorts of different masks on his face. So right now, so when I heard Astro Zombies, I was actually really excited.
Mm-hmm.
Really excited. And so I had typed in Astro Zombie to listen to when you sent me the list. And I tapped play and I was driving and it started and I was like, ooh. And it was like a rap. But I was like, this is not normal Misfits. I go, maybe there's like a different lane that I haven't it ended up being an advertisement. So I was totally digging Astro Zombies commercial. I was like, this is like a 5 ghoster.
I feel like it's like a commercial for like probably like some like prescription medicine or something, and you're like
it was like a rap though, and I was like, this is kind of in the lane of my other 2 choices to you already, right? Like it blended so nice, and I was digging it. And then it said a naughty word, and I was like, wait a minute, Chris wouldn't put this on the show. And so I looked down and it was like skip ad. And so I skipped ad. I was so sad that wasn't the song. So to be fair, I went from liking a song to then listening to the real Astro Zombies by the Misfits. So there was a level of unfair disappointment.
Okay.
Just because I had gotten let down. So I felt like the name of this song was so rock solid. I was really super excited to listen to Astro Zombies, but it really fell short for me. I felt like they could have did so much with this, and it just like was like a straight line.
Well, it's inspired by, because it's, first of all, it's the Misfits. So let's just, these guys are not
That's
musical
fair.
geniuses. However, what I do give them tons of credit for is always trying to combine like that 50s, like doo-wop kind of sound into the punk rock and kind of doing it. So it's like, even this song's like, it's like that total like classic 50s, like just completely sped up. And it's super, to me, it's super poppy and addicting. And then whoa, all I want, like, it's just great. I wanted it, like, but it's based. It's based on a 1968 horror sci-fi film called Astro Zombies. That the song is 100% about that movie.
I wondered if there was a link to it, because obviously all that came up when I was searching it. So I just feel like so many of their songs are just not there for me, and I don't know what it is. Like
hasn't clicked.
It hasn't clicked, but I feel like they're just missing. If you and I were like listening to a bunch of bands coming in, like if we were the American Idol, we're the Chris and Amanda Idol right now, and the Misfits walk in and they played for us, I'd be like, you know what, you're really good, but you're missing something. Come back to me when you find it. That's what I would say to them.
Okay.
And so because of that, like it just was like, but
okay, all right.
I'll give it a 4.
Oh, look at you're. I know you don't even want to give it a 4. You want to give it a 2.
I don't. But because I heard a fun song leading up to that song in the advertisement, I still feel bad about that. There was confusion.
Because there was confusion.
Mistakes were made. But I love that these are part of the stories that we share. So because I'm feeling generous, I really, really want to give it a 3 ghost, but I am feeling also in the spirit of Halloween. And so 4 records.
4 records. Okay. I'm going to take it.
Try Misfits.
I'm taking the ghost. I'm going to take I'm going to take my 4 ghosts and put them in my Halloween bucket.
So you got a solid 14 today. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that is pretty good. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it because the last couple Misfits songs I've given you've given them 2s. So I'm going to take my 4 for the Misfits for sure. Astro Zombies. There's always tons of Misfits on the Chris Halloween Party playlist, just so you know.
Would make sense.
It's all their songs. I think I've said it on the show before. Their songs are like, if a horror movie could sing to you, that's the Misfits.
Had you not started with that really bad song?
Skulls?
That's
a classic.
Listen, let me put little girls' skulls on a stick. I mean, here's Chris. He's got something to say. Chris. Good morning, Chris. I didn't realize we skipped right to Thriller. Look at that.
We went right to Thriller.
We just bulldozed to Thriller. Oh, he's gone.
Well, thank you, Chris.
Fantastic. That was fantastic. I always love when you pop up.
That was like the Lurch laugh, almost like from Addams Family.
Oh gosh, and that almost made the list too. Almost made the list. That's hard.
This is why it was hard.
So hard. So I think that's the perfect way to go into that laugh took us right into my third choice to you, which is Thriller.
Yes. Michael Jackson's Thriller. What a song, and even more so, what a music video. And there's so much that can be talked about when it comes to this song. There's so much cool stuff out there, and it is a let's forget all about the Michael Jackson stuff that's come out over the last bunch of years. Just let's just focus on this song, Thriller, the music video, and going back to that time and place when this came out and we all heard this song for the first time and then watched that music video and just thinking about how awesome the whole thing was. It hadn't been done like that before. No one had done anything to that level. Oh my gosh. The fact that they had gotten, I would say, and I don't know, I would love to hear if anybody agrees or disagrees with this next statement. So this is going to be a bold statement.
I'm on the edge of my stool.
But I feel like there are 2 Halloween songs that are 100% synonymous with Halloween in this country. And that would be the Monster Mash and Thriller. I'm just saying, I don't think there's argue. And I know there's Ghostbusters. We did Ghostbusters last week and all that. And yes, those songs are on there. But I think when you think of Halloween, the first 2 tunes you think about is the Monster Mash and Thriller.
Now, question. I did not research this. Besides Thriller being its own little production, right? Its own little thing. Has Thriller ever been in any movies?
I was looking for that, and I believe it's been licensed in. I'm trying to think. Let me look at my notes here because I didn't really look for stuff from that side of things. But so it was in. So a lot of the dance and the choreography's been in there. So I think it was in 2004 movie 13 going on 30. Yeah, it was in that.
As soon as you said the dancing aspect, I was like, oh, that's when they throw it in. You're right.
Yeah. It was used as a commercial in the Super Bowl.
They had to have paid big money for that. Whew.
Yeah, it was Sobe actually used it.
Interesting. Because, for as iconic as it is as a Halloween song, it has not really been in a lot of things. So it must be a fortune to actually use it.
Oh, I'm sure. It cannot be cheap to use Michael Jackson's Thriller in
or
many
anything
things.
Of his, right?
So just some quick facts about it that I dug up because there is a ton of stuff. And especially if you go to songfacts.com and you put in Michael Jackson's Thriller, you will see everything that comes up. It's pretty sense. It's pretty thorough. So this is just a few of the things that I found out. So first of all, I think everybody knows this is that. So John Landis, who did American Werewolf in London, awesome film. If you've never seen an American Werewolf in London, please, please, please go see it. Some of the best practical special effects for that time ever done of a change of werewolf transformation. But so Michael Jackson, super smart, hires John Landis to direct the video. To turn him into a werewolf in the video. So, and the reason why they did it is because they're like, Michael Jackson at the time was one of the least frightening people on earth. So they were trying to figure out how to sell the song and sell the music video. And that's why they brought in John Landis, because like, well, this is the guy that did American Werewolf in London, and Michael Jackson wanted to do this whole werewolf transformation thing. And so that's why they brought him in. Vincent Price, of course, is on the track. World-renowned horror actor in all kinds of, it's the classic Hammer horror films and all kinds of different things. He is in it. They actually asked a few other people. They asked first Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee, and they decided not to do it, but they got Vincent Price to do it. There was actually a Vincent Price kind of rap that was sort of cut where he kind of raps a little bit with the stuff, and they kind of cut it. This is considered the most famous music video of all time. Was added to the National Film Registry in 2009 and is the first music video to ever enter the registry. It is also a cultural milestone and introduced elaborate choreography, costumes, and dialogue into the music video format, which had really not have been done. It was the first introduced the concept of a long-form music video where a mini movie was made for a song and then edited down to a short version. The long version of Thriller runs 14 minutes.
I was just going to ask if you knew how long that video was.
14 minutes is the long version. And it racked up, when it was released on YouTube originally, it racked up 100 million views like right away. MTV usually ran the short version, which ran under 5 minutes because they would edit it, but still contained some of the concept, if anybody remembers from back then. But you can watch. So if it's been a long time since you've watched it, you can watch the full Michael Jackson Thriller, the 14-minute like mini movie on YouTube. So that's a really cool thing. So the song was actually written, just to talk a bit about the song. I didn't know that. This is something I did not know. It was written by a British songwriter, Rod Temperton, and he wrote the song. And he was the guy who actually wrote two of other Michael Jackson's songs, Rock With You and Off the Wall. Ooh. And when it came to this next record, he wrote the song Thriller and then delivered this. He also wrote The Lady in My Life and Baby Be Mine. Those songs were also on the album, but were never released as singles. So here's the cool thing. This I found really interesting, just about the marketing of this, right? So most homes in 1983 had VCRs. So VCRs and home videos were like big business. So, and the big thing that was sort of that whole Jane Fonda workout, like really made like the VHS like market explode.
Yep.
So they, on top of selling the record, you could also buy the VHS copy of Thriller, which included the full video and the making of Michael Jackson's Thriller, which was the behind the scenes documentary. The tape, the VHS tape, and you could also do a beta copy too, by the way, when beta and VHS were still that war was going on. This became the biggest selling music video of the time and was later certified by the Guinness World Records as the top selling music video of all time, moving 9 million units. And part of its appeal was the price for a mere, you want to guess how much this cost back in 1983?
Oh my goodness.
How much would Michael Jackson Thriller VHS cost?
$4.99.
You are about $20 off.
It was $29.99.
$24.95 at the time. When you would have to buy, when you bought, now if you remember, when you would buy a VHS movie, they were like $99 and up back then. If you bought an actual VHS copy of a film, it was almost over $100. Actually, it was easily over $100.
That high. Wow.
But you could buy this for $24.95, which was cheap.
Holy smokes. I guess I just did not remember the tapes themselves being that expensive.
Back then they were, because we rented everything. That's why you rented, because it was too expensive to actually buy the tape. So that's how rental businesses were basically started, because it was too expensive to buy. So the store would buy and then you would rent.
And Blockbuster was born.
Basically, yeah. Absolutely. So this was the first time that anything like this had ever happened. And a timetable of this,
Genius.
So they distributed the video through a company called Vestron Video, which later approached John Landis about selling this film directly to consumers. And the move turned out to be so profitable, and the timing of it helped. Guess when they released this video? A few weeks before Christmas.
This just shows you have to have obviously talent, but you have to have the right people like in your team.
Yep.
To do the whole package correctly, because this could have absolutely flopped.
Oh my gosh. It absolutely could have blown up. But I think that, listen, just starting with the fact the song is good. It's fun. And you have all the right elements there. And then, of course, just being smart out of the gate was like, we're going to do a bunch of things we've never done before. We're bringing in John Landis. We're going to make, and it was cool. And you go back and watch that. I'm telling you, if you haven't watched Thriller in a long time, go back and watch it. It holds up, man. It holds
really
up.
Does.
The practical effects, the makeup, the costumes, the choreography, like that transformation, his werewolf, it looks awesome. Like it is cool. I'm telling you, it works still.
The artists were fantastic. I just really think if they had not done a music video the way that they did, I don't think we would really be talking about it.
Probably not, but this goes to show the powers of how, how much visual and audio works so well together. And I mean, you cannot talk about Michael Jackson's Thriller without the video. I mean, you cannot. It's just the song is good. It starts with a good song and all that, but the video, like,
the video is what.
Holy smokes! Yeah, the whole Vincent Price laugh at the end.
Been out of it as well. I think it would have fallen short.
Oh, 100% would have fallen short. And it's just amazing. And so I definitely urge everybody, I'm only scratching the surface on a lot of the stories surrounding. I mean, Amanda and I, honestly, we could just do an entire episode talking about the making of this video and all the stuff behind it and the songs. But if you go to songfacts.com and you type in Michael Jackson's Thriller, you really will get a whole great bunch of notes about the making of the song and the making of the video. One more quick thing is I just thought that this was interesting was that video cost $500,000 to make.
I mean, well worth every penny. And think of if they didn't have that budget, they didn't believe in it the way that it should have been believed in. I mean, again, a million things could have went wrong.
Well, and here's the other thing is the record company did not want to pay for it as the album was on the downswing and they already financed 2 videos for 2 of its songs already. So according to John Landis, this is what John Landis said, Michael Jackson really wanted to turn into a monster. So he paid for the clip himself, and Landis took on the project because he saw it as a way to revive the short film genre, which he loved. So, so he didn't pay for the whole video out of pocket, but he made distribution deals with Showtime and MTV to cover the costs.
Collaboration, networking. I mean, it's just so important. So important for any business.
So great.
I love it. Good data, good history. I love learning about that.
It is. It's fun. So once again, I'm seriously, go back, go watch that whole video. And you could also, the making of's on YouTube as well, which is also fun to watch and see the whole behind the scenes. And, the video holds up. And, think about whatever you want about Michael Jackson now, but just think about just this time, that video, and how much of an impact it made. And just, it really is a cool horror film.
Iconic.
It's a cool horror film. It really is. It's a cool mini movie. So that is, so with that being said, my official rating, I don't think this is going to be a shocker, Amanda.
I already wrote it.
Yeah.
I may have to erase, but
this
I already
is
wrote it.
5 pumpkins.
No eraser needed.
Or Thriller dance. 5 Thriller dancing zombies.
I love it. No, solid song for sure.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Our ratings basically matched each other, different order, but I mean, we both scored 14s. Pumpkins and ghosts, not bad.
Not bad.
It's already 104, which is amazing. So let's dive right into our top 3 Halloween movies before we wrap up the show.
That's right.
So let's go from 3 and go down.
Okay, sounds
All
good.
Right. Since I started with your number 1, I'll start with my 3, if that's good with you.
Okay, go ahead.
My number 3 Halloween pick is E.T.
What? E.T.? I would not have expected E.T. to make this list. I mean, although it is set against Halloween, the whole second half of the film, but I would not. Wow, okay.
E.T.
Okay.
I totally associate it with Halloween. I love Reese's Pieces, probably specifically because of that movie. It just aligns with my love for Stranger Things. It is very Stranger Things. The more I love Stranger Things, the more I think I really appreciate and go down the E.T. lane. So that is my number 3 pick.
Wow, that's not even on my radar, but I like that.
Thanks. So number 3. You're going to see a trend here.
I see the trend.
So what is your number 3 pick?
My number 3 pick is a film that literally scared the hell out of me when I was a kid. Terrified me. I still have lingering frights from this movie. Is The Exorcist. This movie scares me. Still scares me. It's an amazing film in horror and psychology and filmmaking, and how filmmaking can induce fear through sound and visual. It is once again, to do the behind the scenes research on The Exorcist is a study in absolutely how to scare the crap out of an audience. It is 1000% designed like that.
So I did not, a lot of things my mom didn't let us watch as kids. Like we just couldn't watch certain movies. When you get older, she didn't want to deal with nightmares and stuff. Totally don't blame her. So I didn't watch that until I was I was probably in my 20s before I finally watched that. So it didn't scare me the way that it would scare little Chris.
I wasn't supposed to watch it.
Kind of like I wasn't supposed to watch Nightmare on Elm Street, and that bit me in the butt because then I
Exactly.
told my mom I was scared of it.
Yeah.
That bed scene. Remember that bed scene?
Yep. Yeah. Johnny Depp. Yeah. So I wasn't supposed to watch it, but I did. And I paid the price. Ooh. Now I know why my parents didn't want me watching it.
I know. And your mom and dad listen to this show. Do they know? Well, they're going to find out.
Oh, they know.
Now.
No, they know. They know. And they're like, see, we told you. Movie's scary. Good luck with those nightmares, buddy.
Go in your bedroom. Leave us alone.
Yeah. But I'm scared.
Good choice. Good choice. My number 2 pick should not come at a surprise, but Monster Squad. I just think that is the cutest little movie in the world.
It's a great movie.
Like younger, I just love those type of movies. I just think they like really hold up. I don't know. It kind of is in the same category as Never Ending Story, that same time period. I just love that type of lighthearted movie. It's so cute.
It is so great. A movie. Rachel and I watch it every year. It is like, that is regular rotation for us, that film.
The Frankenstein and little girl relationship just has my heart. And then when she throws him, spoiler alert, her bear at the end.
It's so great.
And he just protected her. It just just so sweet. So many elements of greatness.
Once again, another Stranger Things inspired film. They pull stuff from that film too.
It's amazing. I feel like all they did was like go, okay, what are our favorite movies as children?
Basically.
And let's create a Mod Podge of all of those.
Yep, we're going to do an homage to every single one of these films.
And that's why Amanda at 40 loves Stranger Things.
Yes, that's right. You're not alone. You are not alone.
Thank you. Thank you for making me feel so better. So that was my number 2 pick. What about you?
My number 2 pick is the George A. Romero classic, the black and white Night of the Living Dead. That is the film that started it all. When we talk about zombies and anything today, for the most part, I mean, yes, we were talking about Astro zombies and all, but that to me is the definitive zombie film. Once again, an amazing story. They shooting this in Pittsburgh. These guys had their own like production company where they're shooting like commercials for like dentists and stuff like that. They raised like $50,000 or $60,000 to make that movie. And look what happened, so it is an incredible story of passion and love for filmmaking and horror and, just doing things your own way. It's as punk rock as it can get. And we've got George Romero to thank for it. And that movie, you watch it and some of the stuff is very laughable, but I love it. And you just got to think about it. Like in that time, nothing like that had come out. And on top of that, to also include a social commentary and making the lead in an African-American gentleman when no one was doing that back in the 60s in a horror film. And he's the hero. I mean, it's truly an outstanding film that you watch it today, man, it still, to me, still resonates. So Night of the Living Dead, classic film.
Good choice. Just different lane that I like to go down for nostalgia purposes, but I like it. It. My last and final, this is something I can watch on replay over and over and over. I can watch a lot of things on replay. Right. But I cannot go through the holiday season without watching Hocus Pocus.
Oh my God. I knew you were going to say it because I'm like, Hocus Pocus has not been on your list and I know it's coming. So I'm like, if it's not number 1, then it's just not on your radar. But I'm like, there's no way Hocus Pocus isn't being on Amanda's radar.
I think the actresses in that movie are brilliant. They are amazing. I keep there's things on Facebook that say, oh, Hocus Pocus 2 confirmed. And they're all liars. Like I've been seeing that for the last 2 decades.
Yeah.
And I just keep hoping truly, like not a play, not a that, not a this, like truly Hocus Pocus 2 and the main characters still in there.
Yeah.
Because it's just a brilliant movie. It's a fun movie. It's a lot of comical stuff, but a little love story. It's just super, super cute. Love it.
Yeah. While it's not on my lists, I do enjoy Hocus Pocus. It is a fun film.
Now,
It's
girls
fun.
Enjoy it?
They do, and my wife loves that too. I mean, it's a great cast. I mean, it's a fun movie. It's a fun movie.
It is fun. It's just gets you in the spirit of Halloween without it's not scary. It's just a fun thing to listen to.
It's very lighthearted, and I definitely recommend it. And if you have never watched it or you haven't watched it in a long time, definitely check it out. It's you know what? It's a great escape film. It's just good escapism.
And I think that's exactly why I love it and Monster Squad and E.T. It just puts you in a place of escape. Like you don't have to think, you don't have to watch every second of it. It just takes you to a place of happy. And so good descriptive word there. Love it. So what's your number one?
So I don't think this is going to be a shocker for anybody that's been listening to the show and anybody that was like watching last week. This is by far just the most consistent, like one of my favorite films of when it comes to horror films. This is it. This to me is the king. This is the king of the mountain of horror films for me. And that is the original, the one, the only Halloween. The John Carpenter 1978 original film, Halloween. That's the one for me. Not that I've watched all the other Halloweens and even this newer stuff, and I did not like Halloween Kills at all. I thought it was not good. I thought the 2018 version was okay. But that original Halloween, man, talk about a way of bringing in a lot of the Hitchcock suspense. There's no blood in that movie.
Yes.
0 blood.
Yes.
All suspense, all psychological. The killer barely moves. It's the mask, everything about the making of that. Netflix, I think I said last week, Netflix is running. They always have the movies that made us thing. And right now, the one that's on, they have horror movies. And good. Halloween's on there. And you've never watched any making of the Halloween movie and the story behind it. Start with that one. That one is great. They really do a fun, entertaining way of talking about how these films are made. And the story of Halloween is fantastic. And just once again, it's amazing. Once again, how you start with nothing when we talk about Night of the Living Dead. A lot of the movies that we've talked about, starting with absolutely nothing, shoestring, almost not even happening, coming up with stuff on the fly, things accidentally happening, and then
barely scripted.
Yeah, barely scripted. These iconic films that continue to live and breathe and inspire. And Halloween is just, for all those reasons and many more, that is my number one Halloween horror film of all time. That's my King of the Mountain.
I can respect that number one.
That's my Great Pumpkin.
It made my list last week, but it's only because I hold a couple lighter-hearted ones a little closer to my heart.
Yeah.
But such a good movie. And I just think it's such a talent when you can, like you said, no blood. Someone had to really look at artistic views and the whole picture to be able to do that. And I think when we're talking about our music during these episodes too, you always say it's too filtered. It's not raw enough.
Yeah.
They made it to this or that. And I think there's just something about appreciating the art of not overdoing something.
Yeah. And John Carpenter, being a musician on top of a filmmaker, really just created when you listen to that score, it's literally, the opening, the band we went to go see this weekend at the bar down the street, they did 3 sets, and they opened up with doing the theme song. It was great. They were playing it and rock. It was awesome.
And I bet everyone loved it.
Everybody went bananas. And I was wearing my Michael Myers shirt at the bar too, because it's Halloween week. That's it. I'm Halloween every day.
Chris goes all in when he he understands the assignments at hand, depending on seasons or concerts. You're just good at that. Right.
So it's Halloween. It's Halloween. So gotta rep. And then they play that, and I go bananas. But when you think about that, though, just the combination notes, and then you listen to the little subtle piano. It's truly a master stroke in using subtle music to drive a scene, lighting, angles. No gore to punctuate the point. Like they just made a terrifying film.
So good. So good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a little sad that we're wrapping up.
I know. Me
part 2
too.
of our Halloween series because I've enjoyed this so much.
This has been so much fun putting this together. And, as I said at the start, this was really hard. Last week was hard. Just curating like a playlist of like just fun, cool songs that, especially trying to like, get, give things to you that I don't think you've listened to before and then see if you like them and all that. So I love your ratings for today. I thought these are great. I love the songs you picked for me. These were fun. Definitely adding the Houdini song to the playlist. That's going on the Halloween playlist. That's on. That's happening.
Oh gosh, It's just so catchy.
Well, thank you, Russ.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
It is super catchy.
So next week we'll be back for episode 25 on November 1st.
The day after Halloween.
The day after, when all those kiddos are going to be all hyped up on chocolate. Teachers always conveniently have like in-service day that day. Like, just smart.
Teachers, I'm gonna be hopped up on chocolate. You're gonna see like either I'm coming off of a sugar high, either I'll be sugar high or coming off of I'll be coming down from a sugar rush.
There's no other way to enjoy Halloween other than that.
Halloween candy tastes better on Halloween. Like it's the same candy, but it's better on Halloween.
If you don't eat enough to make your belly hurt a little, like can we even be friends?
I don't know.
I mean, I mean, we're equal opportunity here, but
we are.
I mean, there is a line that we draw with Halloween candy.
Yeah.
So good show. Again, let's thank Miss Carrie, Coffee with Carrie, for her awesome sponsorship. We appreciate her so much for believing in our show just as much as we believe in hers. So go check out Coffee with Carrie and enjoy all of her episodes. She has a beautiful, like, full library. So you can binge watch her show now.
Yeah, you really can, which I've done. You just put it on and let it play and it's great.
Absolutely. And we thank everyone who was in the audience today and hanging in there with us. It means a lot for you to, be in the live recording, and everyone who's listening to the replay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you guys all so much. Really appreciate each and every one of you. And please, for those on Fireside, please make sure that you reshare the show. And it's very simple to do if you've never done it before, to share with your followers. Is you hit the little thing on the bottom. They call it the hamburger, right? And you hit that and it comes up, and then all you do is you hit the share with followers, and then that way you can share this show with everybody that follows you. It's a great way to help us grow the show. For those of you not listening on Fireside, you should go download the app so you can listen live on Fireside and listen to replays, but you can also listen to the show on all the other podcast platforms. And of course, you can watch us on YouTube and Twitch. All these are recorded audio and video, so you can always watch the video companion to all the shows. And absolutely make sure that you follow us on all the socials, over at Instagram, over at TikTok. We do have a Buy Me a Coffee. So, hey, we always have some bills to pay around here. So any kind of support is always generously appreciated. And we do have a membership there too, where you can sign up and you can watch Amanda and I do music video reactions to videos. Music video reaction videos. There it is.
Lots of videos.
Lots of videos to watch over there. There's going to be a bunch being released. I think we have one where we did reacted to Ghost. That's coming out this week. And I think there's a few others. And we were just talking about cutting some new ones with the Ozzy, Bark at the Moon and all that. So absolutely make sure to sign up there if you'd like to see some more Chris and Amanda hijinks. And other than that, Amanda, I guess that's it for us today.
That's it. What a fun show. Again, it's one of our favorite times of the year. So thank you for hanging in there with us and enjoying it with us. And we hope everyone has a fantastic Halloween. Whether you have little ones or not, it's a holiday for everyone to celebrate. It's just fun.
100%. So yeah, everybody make sure you have an awesome Halloween. Stay safe out there. Have a great time. And we will see you here next Monday, 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, right here on Fireside. Thanks, everyone, for listening. See you soon.
Bye, everyone.